You can manifest anything you want, and anything can be manifested. Anything you want in this life is super possible to manifest if you just understand this thing. You know, a lot of manifestation people just talk about a before and an after, and then give us a period within 2 days. I just did this, and and they just don't give a very clear picture of how this thing do happen. And you are there 1 year, 2 months, or even 3 months, 6 months, it has never happened, and you are like, others are giving testimonies, they did it within 1 week, within 3 days, within 2 days, and even overnight, and I'm just here pushing and pushing, and I'm not doing it. What might be happening? And they're just using the same techniques that I'm using: visualization, affirmations, even vision boards. And why is it not happening? You start labeling that visualization, that my manifestation is just for few people, chosen ones, and it's not for me. And you stop it. You are bad on it. You go back to the life you used to live. Stop it there. Just stop it there. Go back to where you are. Go back to manifestation through whatever technique you are using, whichever way you tried and you saw it was working for you. Start all over, because there's nothing wrong you are doing. It's just that you thought you just never knew that time was okay, or whatever it was. People do manifest things even after they just receive those things, even after 2 years, and you're there giving up within 1 year, or even within months, and you are just okay with that and you give it up. First of all, time should never be a limit. This is why some of us have grown up having a lot of negative beliefs that have been holding us backwards. A lot of negativities that will take a lot of time to break them down, to break them, and we'll be free from them. There are a lot, because we are all from different backgrounds. We also take things in a different way. There are those ones who will submit to whatever they were taught by their parents. Others will resist it. There's those who are rebellious to just picking things from their parents and from their guardians, and that's a good thing, because if you if you think about it, it's better to grow up having your own beliefs. But that's okay. It happened that way, and that's okay. We now know better. So first of all, just know that your belief system might not be the same for someone else's. Someone else's might have come from a background that they were never fed with a lot of negativities, and that way they took a shorter period to break it. Something else, some people are so courageous to face such things. They are so brave, courageous, and those ones who, then some people are like, I have to stop this, I have to break this, and they do it. But some of us like me, we keep postponing. We try, it fails. We try again, it fails. We try again, it fails. We keep postponing each and every time, until maybe we take a step and a step and a step, so it takes us a long time to break such thing. So don't ever think that the time should limit you. It should never limit you. You are there 1 year and you have not seen visible evidence. It's okay. Continue doing it. For me, my personal experience, I took almost years to understand what manifestation is and to get clear on what it all entails. It took me almost 2 years. I remember this time I was manifesting my ideal job, and I was not getting what I wanted, and I was like, what is happening? Like, why am I not getting what I want? Why am I not getting this kind of a job that I want? First of all, you have to realize it's not all the time you have to be clear on what you want. Like, you need a job having this kind of you know, this kind of qualities or whatever, I don't know how to call them. You know, you have your own intentions, the kind of a job you want. Maybe you're working for maximum of 5 hours a day, and maybe a salary of whatever amount you want. You have such kind of clear, clear thoughts about it, but not fully. Maybe you don't even know where you want to work, but you know you want this kind of salary this time, maybe to work for this time of hours to, and then the kind of feelings, I need to be in love with my job, I need to feel so satisfied, so contented with it, be happy with my job. It's not must to be clear, fully clear on what you want. First of all, you have to know that this kind of things, like I wanted to, like the intentions, you don't have to be fully clear on the kind of job you want. What is more important is the feelings. The feeling is the most important thing in manifestation. We dwell on wanting to make our images even more visible, and when they don't become more visible, we get frustrated and angry, and we are like, it's not working. No, you're not supposed to be so clear, and don't even be worried about the images. They are not forming in your mind. Don't worry about it. Be clear, or just feel the feelings, those feelings of satisfaction, contentment, happiness. Be in love with your job. They are the most important things. Train yourself to feel them. Train your body to feel those kind of emotions. It's not about the images. The images are not the most important thing. It's the feeling. The feelings are the ones that are going to help you attract that kind of job. It's not about the image. Yes, you need to have some kind of images of an image of what you want, but don't worry if it's not coming out so clear, and that's okay. We get angry with our visualization. It's not coming out so well, and we get bitter, and it's not working, and we abandon it. But the feeling is the most important thing. So the first thing you need to know, it's about the beliefs. First, you have to break down some of beliefs, like money is too hard to get. I have to work hard to get money. Maybe, such kind of beliefs that are holding you back. Then the second thing you need to understand is that it's not must you be so clear on what you want. The feelings are the most important. We all know what we want to feel. We want to be in love with our job. We want to be, but it's not a must you know where you want to work. It's not must you know the kind of, thing you want to be. It's not a must you know all about this, but I want to be satisfied with my job. I need to be, I want to be in love with my job, feel good about my job, to be happy in my job, to have such, to have cooperative colleagues and all those kind of some intentions. But don't ever focus on the images, because when you are visualizing, you're not seeing the images so well. Focus on feelings, because even after that visualization, feelings are going to be left with you. If you feel off after that, it's okay. For the first times it does happen, but repeatedly, no. You need to start feeling better and good after you do your visualization. And when you feel like you are not doing it, you are not feeling good about it afterwards, you need to look at what is not happening. There must be a problem. Maybe it's still too early, or you are too much focusing on images, then they are not happening. So you get frustrated and angry, so even the feelings disappear. So the feelings are the most important. You have to understand that. Time should never be a limit. Time should never be a limit. Something else is that it's not a must to get what you want. Sometimes you might be like, I want this kind of a job. I need this kind, such kind of a job. Working in a big company with a compound full of people, being a CEO, it's good. It's good, you know what you want. But sometimes we might not be fully clear. All our wishes might not be in accordance with our soul. So the soul is fighting it, but you want this, but you are like, and it's not like that, it's not what I want, this I want. There's some conflict, and also it's not maybe in accordance to a higher self. Sometimes it's not a must to get what you want. You might get something almost similar to that, but not fully to that. And it's okay. It's okay if you don't get fully what you want. And sometimes even you might not get that job at all. But what you do, you become more clear on something maybe comes from your soul. You might be like, I need this kind of a job where I'm the CEO or I am this, but that is not what your soul wants. Maybe your soul wants you to be a teacher, to teach people on things that they need to understand about their life and all that. So you start becoming more clear. As you do your visualization, things start becoming more clear. You might become intimate things, your ideal or whatever your manifestation might start becoming clear, or even during your process of visualization. And that do happen a lot. For me, that's what happened. I was manifesting this kind of job, and I remember getting something similar, but not fully similar. The payment was so low, and the sound qualities were okay, but not fully what I wanted, and I was not that fully satisfied. But when I was in that job, I didn't know that God was giving me. I did not know that God was also trying to help me to understand what I fully wanted when I was in that job. Because when I was in that job, I started realizing this is not what I wanted. Somewhere enclosed, somewhere I'm not seeing being in nature, somewhere my time is limited or it's in someone else's heart. I started realizing this is not what I wanted. This is not even near to what I want. And this is not also near to what I want. And I remember feeling so bad about. But with time, things started becoming more clear, and I started realizing that this is not the ideal type of a job I wanted. So it's not a must. If we don't get the kind of job you're manifesting, it's not because you're doing the wrong thing. It's because sometimes it's not aligned with your soul and your purpose, and the soul wants to show you or to make things more clear. So don't ever feel bad. It's not happening. Sometimes it's about you also creating room for things to become more clear. So focus on the feelings. You need to be satisfied. You need to be contented with whatever you're doing, in love with what you are doing. And also, you need to see growth in whatever you are doing. If you focus on such kind of feelings and such kind of intentions, you are going to get where you want. So let's meet on our next video.